Good day, everyone. So, today, together with my group, we will discuss the history of gymnastics.
Ancient history of gymnastics. There is almost no concrete information about the origins of man's gymnastics activities. Historians believe that individuals engage in gymnastics and gymnastics-related activities such as tumbling, jumping, winging movements, and group acrobatics in a variety of locations around the world early in humanity's history. Gymnastics is one of the oldest physical exercises and sports in the world, with its origin in ancient Greece. Gymnastics was most likely represented in Egyptian artifacts for the first time. The earliest known example in gymnastics can be seen in ancient Egyptian art where it was practiced. Pharaohs and Egyptian royalty were entertained by female acrobats. These gymnastic skills such as backbend variations and partner feats are depicted in Egyptian hieroglyphs. Gymnastics was used for military training in Greece, China, Persia, and India by 800 BC. Gymnastics, which had been practiced since ancient times, appears to have spread from Egypt to Greece and Rome. So, diri naman sa pharaohs and Egyptian, gina-entertain sa mga babae paagi sa acrobats. Tapos sa may ano naman sa Greece, China, Persia, India, ang gymnastics ginagamit nila para sa ila military training.
So, this is the example of backbend gymnastic.
Gymnastics in Greece. King Minos of Binuan, Crete, campaigned for physical Crete by men and women thousands of years before the first Olympics. The first Olympic Games were staged in 776 BC by the Greeks as a celebration dedicated to their god Zeus. Gymnastics was included in the early Olympic Games because the ancient Greeks conducted physical exercises and routines. Gymnastics included boxing, wrestling, jumping, track and field, and weightlifting, all of which evolved into independent sports later in history. So, dati daw, ang boxing, wrestling, jumping, track and field, and weightlifting na aras sa kategory sang gymnastics. Pero sa sang panahon, may sari-sarili na silang kategory. Gymnos. The name gymnastics is derived from the Greek word gymnos, which means naked. In the ancient Olympic Games, athletes would compete in the naked competition. So, dati daw, ang gymnastics, kung mag-perform ka mo, dapat naka nakahubagi ka mo. Kaya sa sa Greek ang gymnastics ginderive nila sa gymnos nga ang ibig sabihin ay naked.
This is the example of naked competition.
Gymnasium. The Greek built elaborate complexes known as gymnasia for their physical education training. The gymnasium, originally an area for physical training, evolved into a school for training both the body and the mind. There were three types of teachers in a gymnasium. First, grammatistes, who taught reading, writing, and other scholarly pursuits. Second is guitarists, who taught music. And third, paidotrides, who were physically fitness teachers. Thus, the gymnasium also became a center for the arts, philosophy, and literature. The palestra. Physical training was held in the palestra of the gymnasia. It was a square, walled, open-air workout area equipped with changing rooms and baths. A variety of activities were classified as gymnastics, including running, jumping, weightlifting, throwing, wrestling, and swimming. Evidently, many exercises were conducted to music, just like in the floor exercises routines of modern women's artistic gymnastics. The Paido tribes were the first to design system of physical activity for both athletes and the ordinary citizens. This structured gymnastics program called calisthenics came into existence and became central aspects of a formal education for children. Gymnastics goals in ancient Greece. The Greeks developed three distinct program goals for gymnastic exercises in ancient Greece. It was used to maintain good physical condition in the citizenry. It was used as an integral part of military training. It was a part of conditioning regime for athletes of many types. Gymnastics training in Rome. The Greek city-state Sparta required that both sexes be physically fit. Women needed strong bodies so they could bear strong, healthy children. The Romans followed the Spartans' example to a point. The gymnasium was basically a training place for the legions of the Roman army. Wooden gymnastic horse. Among the apparatus the Romans introduced was the wooden horse. Mounting and dismounting were considered required military skills, especially by members of the cavalry. The wooden horse was used to train soldiers to mount and dismount quickly. The Romans were known for their love for warfare. After their successful conquest of Greece, they adopted gymnastics as their own and developed it into a more formal sport. Gymnastics was then designed to give strength for military combat. Their practical nature turned sport into warfare. The gymnasium were still used to train the Roman legions for warfare, but with the decline of Rome, interest in gymnastics are dwindled. With the fall of Rome and the spread of Christianity through Europe, the knowledge that exercises leads to physical fitness seems to have been lost, along with the ideal of a healthy mind in a healthy body. Gymnastics would have been lost completely if it were not for the medieval gypsies who maintained many aspects of gymnastics as entertainment through traveling minstrel shows included songs, stories, stunts, and tumbling. Gymnastics in Persia. By 500 BC, the Persian had developed the side horse, pommel horse, as a training device for their cavalry to learn mounts, dismounts, and swing movement for combat on speeding horses during battle. Gymnastics, Ancient Asia and China. Tumbling was an ancient art form in China and Asia, as well as in Greece and the Roman Empire. Olympic Games abolished. The Olympic Games were abolished by the Roman Emperor Theodosius in 392 AD as a competitive sport. Gymnastics disappeared after the demise of the ancient Olympics. After financial corruption led to the banning of gymnastics in 393 AD, the sport did not reappear in the public arena until the 16th century.
Revival of gymnastics in Europe. Johann Baseball. In the revival of gymnastics, perhaps the biggest part was played by a German by the name of Johann Baseball from 1723 to 1790. He founded the Philanthropium, a German gymnasium in Dessau, Saxony in 1760. 74. Basil advocated the use of realistic teaching methods in the introduction of nature study, physical education, and manual training into the schools. Basil included physical exercise with other forms of instruction at his school. He also the author of Elementary Work, a popular textbook for children. Johann Gatsmuth, or Johann Christoph Friedrich Gatsmuth, also called Gatsmuth or Gatsmuth, was a teacher and educator in Germany, and is especially known for his role in the development of physical education. The person who came to be regarded as the great-grandfather of gymnastics and a German educator. The initial curriculum was a combination of nightly exercise and Greek gymnastics, and it provided a basis for his book, Gymnastics for Youth, published in 1793, and is considered to be the first book on gymnastics. Friedrich Ludwig John. However, the real father of gymnastics is German educator Friedrich Ludwig John from 1778 to 1852. In the early 1800s, a form of gymnastics developed in Germany as a defined set of skills performed both with or without specific kinds of apparatus. Friedrich Ludwig John planned exercises using pieces of stationary apparatus to develop self-discipline and physical strength. He is regarded as the founder of Turnverein, which is associated of gymnast. The Turnverein from German term turnen to practice gymnastics, and Verein Club Union. He introduced parallel bars, long horse, sad horse, and horizontal bars in 1812. Peter Heinrich Ling. Peter Heinrich Ling, from 1776 to 1839, of Sweden, was the first to appreciate the corrective value of gymnastics. Ling is credited as the father of Swedish massage. He invented the stall bars and the vaulting horse box. The Swedish system, which he devised, emphasized rhythm and coordination through routines practiced with light apparatuses like hoops, clubs, and small balls. Franz Nachtigal, or Vivat Victorius Fredericus Franciscus Franz Nachtigal, was an early proponent and directly responsible for introducing physical education in schools of Denmark. He took lessons of fencing and vaulting in childhood. This started the first school for training of gymnastic teachers at Copenhagen, Denmark. Franz Nachtigal played a large part in introducing physical education in public schools of Denmark and into teacher preparation. Of speed. Modern gymnastics as an individual sport goes back to the free floor exercises developed in Germany by Adolf Spies from 1810 to 1858, who concentrated much of his work in Switzerland. He developed special programs for girls and the very young. He focused his work and education in the body, discipline, moral, and social values.
Gymnastic defined. There are plenty of definitions can be used in describe this discipline. We can describe gymnastics as a sport. Gymnastics is a sport involving the performances of sequence of movements or routines requiring physical strength, flexibility, and kinesthetic awareness. A competitive sport in which individuals perform optional and prescribed acrobatic feats either on the floor or on special apparatus in order to demonstrate strength, balance, and body control. Gymnastics is a sport involving the performances of sequences of movements requiring physical strength, flexibility, and kinesthetic awareness, such as handsprings and handstands. Gymnastics as a physical activity. An exercise in intellectual or artistic dexterity, physical exercises for developing skill, strength, and control in the use of the body, or a sport in which such exercises are performed. Physical exercises designed to develop strength and coordination. Self-motivating activity where one can manipulate the different parts of the body into varied position or movement. Physical exercises designed to develop and display strength, balance, and agility, especially those performed on or with special apparatus. Gymnastics involve not just physical prowess, but very importantly, it requires the use of mental power. Gymnastics entails creativity in putting together a set of routine that makes difficulty, uniqueness, and artistry. Activity requires the use of the intellect. As we use our body, we need to be aware of its framework, strengths, weaknesses, limitations, and capabilities. Gymnastics is not just a sport that uses strength of the muscles or flexibility of the body, but it is a sport that makes our brains work too.
What do we get from learning gymnastics? Physical benefits: an increase in muscular strength, flexibility, and endurance, the ability to relax, correct body alignment while walking, standing, jumping, etc., the knowledge of how to fall and roll safely, increase agility and coordination. Cognitive benefits: awareness of the body, awareness of space and where the body is in it, awareness of relationships, body parts to each other and the apparatus, awareness of relationship with others. Psychological benefits: the joy of movement mastery, discipline and self control, the exercise habit as a pleasurable daily occurrence, a confident self image, and a positive attitude towards their bodies, trust in one's own abilities, move from a word of I can't to I can.
Phases of gymnastic program. Number 1, conditioning program. Involves calisthenic exercise that will prepare the body for more complicated work. It is important to be done first before any activities because it prevents injuries to happen. All athletes should undergo conditioning program before the game or competition. Number 2, rhythmic gymnastic. Phase of gymnastic program that combines gymnastic skills with ballet and creative movement to music. While working with light apparatus such as ribbons, balls, ropes, and clubs, in in a choreographed dance and tumble routine. Everything is done on the floor with four different routines and different music. Number 3, stunts. Activities in the form of play that test the gymnastic strength, flexibility, power, vigor, balance, control of movement, speed, endurance, and agility. Stunts are important because these are preparatory skills to tumbling routines or exercise. Number 4, tumbling. Considered to be the most important phase in gymnastic program are the skills of gymnast are tested. Tumbling skills are regarded as the climax of gymnastic routine. It is completes the whole package. Number 5, apparatus exercise or heavy and light. There are what the gymnastic use in the routines. There are two kinds of apparatus, heavy and light. Heavy apparatus pertains to the balance beam, vaulting horse, steel rings, pommel horse, trampolines, etc. Light apparatus refers to the gymnastic ball, ring, hoops, clubs, and ribbons. Number 6, pyramid building. These are activities that involve more than 3 performers who must execute balance position which resemble the pyramid. Pyramid building test first and foremost the gymnastic balance, muscle control, and strength.